Boston. Boston. I'm butchering this accent. All right, Boston, take one. If you've been following me on social media, then you know that I was in Boston for about a week straight. I was there for work, actually. I was there for the HPGPC Global Partner Conference event. Mr. Hallease actually got to come out with me the weekend prior to the event starting, and we got to spend some time in Boston together. We have both never been. Yeah, we flew in and immediately commenced to having lobsters. Boston and just all of that area of the country is well known for their seafood and their lobster, and they did not disappoint. We tried local seafood, which I think is kind of a Boston chain actually, and they have a really great lobster roll. We also spent a lot of time at the public gardens in downtown Boston and catching Pokemon and just hanging out over there. Because Mr. Hallease was only there for the weekend, we didn't get to do that much together. I think the main thing that we did together was heading over to the Boston Museum of Fine Arts, which has an amazing collection. We spent about 4 hours there and we still didn't see everything, but saw such a great collection of work, especially their contemporary art. They have a lot of great contemporary art. You pay for a general admission to get in, and then the tickets are good again for another visit in the next 10 days. So it's almost like you're paying to go in twice essentially. So keep that in mind. That's why the price I think is a little higher than most museums that I've been to. At least for me, it seemed that way. The last night Mr. Hallease was there with me, we ended up checking out Salty Girl and having their lovely, I had, of course Mr. Hallease didn't because he's gluten intolerant, but I had fried lobster and waffles, which was delish. I will say though that frying the lobster kind of takes away from like the taste of the lobster itself, you know? Anyway, so yeah, after that I bid Mr. Hallease farewell, and then I started in on just being at the event and working the event. We were shooting a lot of stuff, editing a lot of stuff. You know, I went from kind of relaxing for the weekend to having about 12-hour days. And we always find time, the crew and I, to do a little bit in Boston. Wherever we go, we have to explore a little bit. The shooter that that y'all have probably seen, actually, if you've watched a lot of my travel videos, you'll see this shooter that we always have with us. He had this great idea to go to the Prudential Center in Boston and check out the view from the 50th floor. So it's the Skywalk Observatory. Well, I mean, it's super touristy, super cheesy, but it's really there just for the view. And we got there right there at sunset, and so it was so magnificently beautiful just to see all of Boston. We also ended up going to one of the oldest continually running restaurants in the country and had lobster scampi there. A few things about Boston that I noticed. One of the main areas to shop, there's a lot of high-end shopping in downtown Boston, and it was so refreshing for it to not be weird that I was there, for people to not second guess me walking into a store. It was also really cool to be in a blue state and really like truly grasp what that means to be in a blue state. It was so cool to see churches being very verbal and very upfront about the fact that they don't want racism and they want, you know, equality for all. As Baldwin said, one of the most segregated times in this country is high noon on Sunday. And so it was just really cool to see, like, whoa, y'all about it. Here in Boston, like, y'all about it. It's, you know, you just don't see that in Texas, really. You know, I mean, Boston's one of the few, at least downtown Boston anyway, is one of the few cities where it was like, I immediately felt like I could live there. I mean, again, I was in downtown Boston, and I didn't really actually get to go to Cambridge, which is supposed to be an amazing area as well. Did people fit the stereotypes a few times? Of course. You know, a lot of people had the traditional Boston accent, you know, a little rough around the edges. You know, the Southern hospitality kind of goes out the window unless you are purposely engaging with someone, and then that hospitality immediately comes back in. But when you're just trying to get somewhere, get to places, it's a lot like New York, where it's just kind of like tunnel vision, you know? Like I said, I'm from Texas, so a lot of times you do just say hi to strangers, or it's not weird to kind of randomly talk to someone that you don't know for like 5 minutes. I went during the fall, so the weather was amazing. It was like light jacket weather the whole time. It was so great. So I've never been in the wintertime. I could see myself living in Boston, if nothing for the people and the culture itself, which was really cool. Don't forget to start your week with me. I push out new videos every Monday at noon Central Time, and make sure to follow me on social media so you can stay in tune with everything I've got going on. I'll see you when I see you.